Building a personal brand is so important when it comes to standing out from the crowd. And if you're looking for help doing that, consider some public relations help.
Yes, PR is absolutely huge, especially here in Las Vegas. And we are so happy to have Ulyses Osuna. He's the founder of Influencer Press, and he's here to talk about how you can find clients that you want to work with, that want to work with you. PR is fascinating. We deal a lot with PR here in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So tell us about how important it is to have a personal brand and what you can do to enhance people's companies.
100%. So I think nowadays, like, a lot of people are realizing that having a personal brand kind of attracts a lot of customers your way. We know a lot of people that, aside from their company, once they start building their personal brand, they start creating that as another revenue channel. So instead of just their company generating money through ads or other normal kind of marketing channels, they start using their personal brand. They start speaking on stage. They get paid to speak on stage. They just do a lot more things. And since more people know about them and they trust that face, they trust that person, they start going to them more.
Wow. Yeah, and so how do you help people with like their brand and their overall reputation?
Yeah. So a big part of that is kind of identifying who their audience is and how they want to be perceived online. A lot of times nowadays, the media is very powerful, right? We've seen a lot of what's happened with like Trump and just other people, that the media can really sway people into a certain notion. So if you did that for yourself, if you did that for your brand, what would it do, right? It can control the narrative for who you want to be, and who you want to become. So if you do that, you can kind of step into that next level of an entrepreneur.
And building a personal brand, it's a matter of taking steps, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't just happen overnight.
100%.
What is the first step, in your opinion, if someone comes to you and says, hey, I need help doing this, but I don't even know where to get started?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So first step, I'd say is start small, because you don't want to start big and, for example, get under all these lights and then not know what you're doing, get red. I did that my first time. I went on TV, my ears got red, I was sweating, and the host asked me, are you okay? And I'm like,
Oh, no.
So anyways, you want to start small so that way you can work your way up. The moment you work your way up, then you can start feeling more confident to do bigger things like this, to do bigger shows, to actually ask event organizers to speak. But for sure, work your way up. Unless you're already like an extrovert, right? Then you're fine.
Yes.
Then you have an advantage.
Yes. And so you are 26 in the industry, right?
Yes.
And so how does what you're doing right now in this generation and in this time of where we are today, how does that differ from past generations of public relations? Because obviously there's so many changes over the course of the years.
100%. I think in the back or in the past, people used to use a lot of billboards, and they still do. But I think a lot of traditional PR has kind of died down, where sure, they'll get clients, the press, and like, for example, they get on TV or they get an article in Forbes, and that's all good and dandy. But after that, the client doesn't really know what to do with it. Sure, they'll post it on their website, they might post it on their social media, and then it's like a big ego booster for a little bit. They feel good, and then that's it. We don't want to let it die, right? We want to be able to use it and leverage it for more stuff, for more growth, for more revenue. If you just leave it as a placeholder or like a trophy, then all it's going to do is just make you feel good.
That is really interesting. So it's like, you're invited to come on MSNBC as a spokesperson, and then what? Is what you're saying. So that's why it's kind of like it's an ongoing process.
Yes.
Yeah.
How much does social media play into this these days?
It's really big, right? Like, I think even right now with Elon Musk kind of like pioneered the paying for verification things now. So like Meta's doing that as well. So in the beginning, right, people used to see that as like a note of public, like you're a public figure. Now it doesn't necessarily matter too much.
Yeah.
But if you do PR the right way, you don't necessarily need the verification to still be credible, to still be an authority online.
Absolutely. I actually just said that same thing in a conversation yesterday with someone. So
yeah,
absolutely. So what does the future look like for Influencer Press? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we love working with high-end clientele. We love working with like amazing products, kind of like I was mentioning to you, snow teeth whitening, things like that.
Yeah.
And we want to continue working with people like that, because we really believe that entrepreneurs create a lot of jobs. They do amazing things out in the world, and sometimes they just don't know how to get out there, right? They're amazing in their field, but they don't know how to do this. Right, so if we can help them do this, they can, affect more people. They can help more people and create more jobs.
I love
Yes,
it. You're helping people find their voice.
Reach out to Ulyses. Go to influencerpress.com to learn more. He already mentioned his Instagram handle as well, so there you have it.